In our culture, the water is sacred. Water brings life.
The Cowichan River.
It means everything to our people. It provides life to this entire community. In the summertime, that's when all of my relatives and friends would come home from residential school, and we had a blast.
I was probably 6 years old.
9 years old.
12 years old.
I was brought down there with my grandfather and my uncles to learn how to provide.
I remember learning how to swim in the river. My dad throwing me in.
Used to steal my grandmother's silver, the forks, and we would take and fold the prongs. We used to go and catch crayfish.
We used to spend all day at the river.
You guys call it nature walks today. We did it every day.
We lived on the river, we fished the river, our recreational was the river.
It's our backyard, it's our living,
It's our way of life.
One morning, somebody ran up from below down Quw'utsun and said, "School coming up, school coming up." And so we're waiting there, and then all of a sudden you can see bubbling. The salmon were coming. And I was watching all these salmon go by, and it was literally like you could walk across.
My children were probably the last generation that were fortunate enough to use the river quite freely before it got as polluted as it is now.
The changes started to happen probably mid to late 1960s when we introduced our sewage treatment systems to the riparian areas of the river.
I don't know how many times that in the early years they sent logs down the Cowichan River.
Ripped out a lot of those channels and streams and destroyed a lot of the river banks.
They've destroyed maybe 150 salmon beds.
Well, one of the big things we've seen is the rise in the riverbed.
Over the last probably decade, we've been accumulating a lot of sediment or gravel, causing flooding.
Where the gradient flattens out at the bottom of the river, the velocity of the water drops, and it drops all the sediment that it picks up throughout the entire watershed. When the water is so low that the salmon aren't able to get upstream, you've got some challenges.
We have all this development, we have runoffs from the roads, we have all this toxins that's going into our drinking water.
It almost seems like we assumed that we could do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted, to the land, and everything was going to be all right.
Now we're struggling coming up with numbers that we could actually get salmon return in 4 years.
In 5-10 years from now, you'd have no water. You'd have no river system, period.
We could lose the salmon runs completely if they don't smarten up. We've always taken care of that river, and it's only right to put it back in the hands of the people that have always taken care of it.
We announce that we are the guardians of the Cowichan River. We want to complement that statement. It's all man-made, so needless to say, the man has to take it out. When we first started out, there was only a few of us, and we had to take and hire on other companies that we worked with before.
This project has been structured so that the Cowichan Tribe's member companies get the opportunity to build themselves.
We have our own biologist, environmentalist, we have ARC monitors, we have equipment operators, we have truck drivers.
Our members' companies now are getting the work and being able to then in turn hire members to work with them.
And I just wanted to give back to our community and be able to help with whatever I could. And that's employment, a lot of employment.
Just about everybody that I got the opportunity to work with was a relative.
Having the co-workers, which is family and relatives, all come together and work together in unity was something really special.
We're including our reserve and our people, you know, and we're not excluding them anymore.
Those funding dollars kept our families and kept our people in this community and gave people that wouldn't have had a chance.
Everyone was working together, working 7 days a week to get it done.
I have a lot of pride in these guys that I had the opportunity to work with this year.
The whole team came together and we pushed hard. It was up in the air if we could get it done, but as a team we pulled it off.
It was huge.
Looking after the river was one of the things that our ancestors done as one of their everyday parts of life.
How many thousands of years have our people looked after that river, and we've never had this problem. 150 years it's polluted and there's almost no salmon.
We as stewards, managers of the Cowichan River, has been pretty much taken away from us.
I don't know that we ever relinquished rights to this river. And I'm tired of sitting back and not saying anything about it. I want to be able to take that river back